That's what makes this fun, right? Like you have that optimism, you have that hope, like being at Chickies and Pete's store in draft night, feeling that the vibes from people who are excited for the future. We had guys stitching together the Russian Matvey Michkov jersey with the Flyers jersey. Like there's
Love it.
actual excitement here for this team, and watching these prospects grow up before our eyes. Like I think that's extremely entertaining, and we'll see what happens later on down the line with this team when you do have a little more cap space and these guys are a little bit older, more experienced as well. And like you said, Charlie, they take those proper steps too. But you have to be excited if you're a Flyers fan. This is I genuinely believe this is heading in the right direction.
I really hope it is, JP, because you know what? Flyers fans have dealt with enough bullshit over the last decade plus. They deserve a legitimately good team. You know, whether they win the cup or not in the Matvey Michkov era, I don't know. You need a lot of things. You need a smart GM, number one, but you also need luck. You need luck to win cups. There are lots of good teams that just never broke through. But what Flyers fans deserve is a team that has a chance. They deserve a team that for a 4, 5, 6 year period, you're going into the season and you're like, we could do it. It's not a guarantee, but we could win it all. It's like, Sixers fans, like, yes, the Sixers have not come through. They haven't gotten out of the second round, and that's frustrating. And I totally get why Sixers fans are frustrated. But it's undeniable that basically ever since Joel Embiid's third season, Sixers fans go into every year thinking we could win it. It's possible. Maybe we're not the favorite, but we're one of 6 or 7 teams going into every season that if things break right, we could win it all. I just want Flyers fans to have that feeling going into a season where it's not like they have to root for a miracle. It's we are one of the 7 or 8 best teams in the league for sure. And if we make the right moves, if we make the right acquisitions at the trade deadline, if we get injury luck in the playoffs, we could win it all. That's what I want for Flyers fans. I want that hope.
Yeah, and you're talking a little about that luck. If we do get a little bit of that luck, like we've seen here in Philadelphia, Charlie, with the Phillies, heck, I'll even throw the Union because I've been there for some hectic playoff games. The atmosphere for playoff games in the city cannot be matched. So you're talking about a little bit of that luck. You get a little bit of that home ice advantage later on down the line. You might get a little bit of that luck, but you'll get great scenes. I miss that orange, that orange rush that you saw for the playoff games, in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Like it needs to come back, and it needs to come back soon enough.
The Wells Fargo Center in Flyers playoff games is unreal. I mean, I went to 2 playoff games during the 2010 run. I went to the game against the Devils when Dan Carcillo scored the game winner in overtime and it was searching for someone to celebrate with. It was just such a legendary celebration moment. And then I was at game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, the game where they chased Yaroslav Halak. And the loudness of the crowd, number one, when Carcillo scored that goal, but number 2, when it became clear that Halak was getting pulled, that was unreal. And I've covered playoff games since, as a journalist. I've covered Flyers playoff games. I covered the Penguin series. I covered the Capital series. I guess I technically covered the bubble playoffs, but I was doing it from my living room. I wouldn't really consider that to be coverage. So I have seen playoff games at the Wells Fargo Center as a journalist. But none of those games reached the level of that 2010 run. Because in those playoff series, I think fans pretty much knew that the Flyers probably weren't going to win. Maybe they could pull an upset, but there wasn't a feeling of we are one of the favorites. We could actually do this. That's what I want back for Flyers fans. I want Flyers fans to go into a season and think this could be the year, not deluding themselves, but actually rationally believing this could be the year. That's what I want for Flyers fans.
We all silly like the mayor.